What's up, y'all? Welcome to the NBA Weekly Post Game. This is where we share our views on the latest trending topics within the NBA. My name is Sha.
And I'm Yvette, and we have a lot to talk about. So for this episode, we're going to discuss our thoughts on Deandre Ayton's contract with the Phoenix Suns and Chauncey Billups' comments regarding Dame. Let's get started.
I'm just going to say, I am so mad at Robert Sarver, the owner of the Phoenix Suns right now. Pay Deandre Ayton what he's worth.
Pay him what he's worth, and you know why? Because he earned it. What's so interesting about this, I think that what I read is that the Phoenix Suns, they don't want to go into the luxury tax.
Yeah. They cheap.
So really, it's all about the money. And not only that, you know who's also up for a rookie contract extension is Mikal Bridges.
Mm-hmm.
So they're probably like, hold up. Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. Let me check my pocketbook. At the end of the day, pay him. Think about it. Deandre Ayton was a part of the 2018 draft class. Do you know how many other players in that draft class received their extension, their rookie contract extension? And those players received their rookie contract extension, but did not make it to the conference finals, did not make it to the NBA finals. And you don't want to pay him, but Luka can get his money. Trae Young can get his money. Michael Porter Jr. can get his paper. And Deandre Ayton can get his. You got it. Come on, Phoenix Suns.
You got to be kidding me. Shai Gilgeous got his too.
Wait a minute. Shai Gilgeous got his, was injured last season, 2021, and played for OKC. Really? Nowhere near play-in tournament. And this is no slight on Shai Gilgeous. Pay the man too. But if you think that Deandre Ayton can't get max pay, which can be up to 207 million.
Yeah.
If you make the All-Star team, if y'all don't get that man his money and stop playing.
Stop playing. First of all, he's 23 years old with a huge ceiling. He is just scratching the surface of his talent right now. Because remember, he was injured early in his career. I think he sat out a whole season. But now I think he's earned his keep here in the league. And especially with the Phoenix Suns. He's a big that can play in the paint. He can move out to the mid-range. I mean, come on. His defense was great. And the Phoenix Suns made it to the Western Conference Finals with him in the paint.
Made it to the Western Conference Finals and won the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah.
Made it to the NBA Finals 2021. You tell me what other player from the 2018 draft class did that in the 2021 season and didn't get their paper. Tell me. This is what I'm talking about. So why would him and his camp settle for less? Get that man his money. Because if you want to compare him to the other players, there is no comparison when we're talking about whether his what value and what ceiling he has. I am over it.
You know, I'm really shocked that the Suns went ahead and gave Chris Paul 4 years and 120, and he's 36 years old. Why would you now? Hey, Chris Paul is great. In terms of floor general and all that he's done in his career, it doesn't get any better. But he's 36. Deandre Ayton is 23 years old. We know we can get at least 10 more solid years from him. Why are they hesitant? Why are they so reluctant to break the bank on Deandre Ayton? What is it about him?
They can't break the bank on Deandre Ayton because they got to reserve some money for Mikal Bridges. Tell the full truth. Now, granted, Mikal Bridges will not be making $100 and something million, but he is still up for a rookie contract extension, just like DeAndre Ayton. He can at least get 70. So what are they going to find $70 million for Mikal Bridges and $172 million for DeAndre Ayton? You better pay him this season. You better pay him right now, because if you do not pay him by October 18th and he goes into the next season, and then y'all got to try to match what the inflation is going to be on the salaries for the rookie contracts, stop. You better pay him now, because it's compared to what you're going to be paying rookies next season. This is pennies.
Yeah.
And I'm being funny. It's not pennies, but come on. Really?
Well, first of all, the deadline is the day before the season. How do you think that would affect DeAndre Ayton's psyche and the Phoenix Suns' quest to make it back to the NBA finals. It's like, yo, I mean, how do you go in as a young player when you know the organization doesn't really believe in you in order to, sign you for 5 years?
They believe in him. They just want to lowball him. That's just what it is. They
Wow.
want to avoid luxury tax and figure out a way to pay him. And I really believe, I know it's not coming up, but I think they have to consider what that extension looks like for Mikal Bridges, because he was also a huge contributor to the success of the Phoenix Suns in the last season.
Well, honestly, I would let Mikal Bridges walk if it means that I can hold on to Deandre Ayton, because centers at his size, 6'11", 260, are very hard to come by. And with his athleticism and his ability to play small ball, now the Phoenix Suns play small ball, they're up and down the court. You can't find many centers that can run as quickly and has the agility of Deandre Ayton. Mikal Bridges, I like him. I really do. I sung his praises all last season, but I'm willing to let him go.
Okay. So that means they don't necessarily have to pay either one of them this season, to be honest. But of course, DeAndre Ayton is looking for what that looks like, because you just paid his other people in the same draft class. I just don't understand it. I agree with you. I think that in retrospect, they're probably looking at the numbers, the Phoenix Suns. And then when I say they, I'm talking about the Phoenix Suns are probably looking at their budget and saying, we gave Chris Paul what exactly?
See? That was a mistake.
Because we did. So UCPA didn't have the foresight to think that we would need to pay DeAndre Ayton next season. So we're going to go ahead and extinguish our cushion so we can avoid the luxury tax or whatever they're trying to avoid, and give all this money to Chris Paul, when really at the end of the day, he is on the downhill of his career.
Yes.
So now we're going to potentially lose DeAndre Ayton. I can tell you right now, though, I don't care what this looks like and how he may feel. He cannot go into the next season with or without a contract and not play his best. Because what he doesn't want to have happen is his stock to go down.
Oh, goodness.
Because if that happens, you will not get paid. So it would be advantageous to him to still play at his highest level with or without a contract. Now, of course, with the contract makes it sweet, right? It's like, oh, they really, really want me. We were able to negotiate, but he got to be feeling some type of way about this negotiation as well. He already got to be feeling slighted anyway, because I got to go through this, and now the reports are that it's stalled.
Yeah.
Really, y'all? Pay that man.
Pay him.
Pay him. That's okay. Don't pay him and let him go somewhere else, and you're gonna be looking silly.
Real silly, because I know there are some teams right now that will gobble him up in a heartbeat.
Don't mind paying it. So and I don't even know. I think I read the last time that the Phoenix Suns had to pay luxury taxes, maybe 2009, if I recall correctly. If y'all don't pay that man,
it's crazy. Now let's talk about DeAndre Ayton's performance in the playoffs. If you remember, in the 2021 NBA Finals, by the way, he played really well. He averaged a double-double, but I think he was shook in the elimination game, which was Game 6. If you remember, Coach Monty Williams and Chris Paul, they had to kind of beat DeAndre Ayton's chest to make sure they can get the most out of him, because something happened. The defense shifted. The Bucks had their number. And maybe that's what the Suns owner is kind of looking at. Like, when we need you the most, you couldn't come through with it for us.
That man is still young in his career. What do you expect? He's never been there before.
Yeah.
And we're talking about a strong Bucks team. We're talking about that and those players on that Bucks team have played, maybe not in the finals, but they have played multiple playoff games. Multiple playoff games. So that missed me with that. Every new player will experience that. DeAndre Ayton just happened to be the one that did it this last season. What are we talking about? You think that's going to be a reason why you don't want to pay this man when you got Trae Young and you got Luka Doncic? Stop. He got his paper? I can't. Yeah. You can't even explain it to me.
Actually, you know what? It just dawned on me. Now, Trae Young, Luka, Shai Gilgeous, well, except Michael Porter Jr., they're all first options. DeAndre Ayton isn't the first option for the Suns.
Michael Porter Jr. is not a first option.
No, I said with the exception of Michael Porter Jr.
Oh, okay.
The rest of them are first options.
Fair. Yeah, they may be first options. Okay, so the first option for the Phoenix Suns would be
Devin Booker. Yeah.
Yeah. However, those first options, didn't make it to the NBA Finals.
They did not. I know.
Mhm.
And Aiden averaged a double-double in the playoffs and the finals. So
This
I
is no
think he's
point.
earned his keep. They need to break the bank for him. If his classmates, I'm telling you, and he was the number one pick.
Number one. And y'all question his ability. You can't even. That would probably be what you just mentioned, maybe the only reason why I see them wavering, because he's not their number one option. But it could be if they wanted him to be.
He could.
He could be if they wanted him to be. They don't want him to be. Devin Booker is a beast. I get it.
Yeah.
And then you got Chris Paul taking up that. I can build. If Chris Paul wasn't there, would he be? Would they be questioning that now? No, because they would have the
Mhm.
money.
Mhm.
It's all about the money. It's
And shame on
all
Chris Paul
about
for
the money.
taking that 4 years and 120 at the end of his career. I'm all about him getting paid, but 4 years? He's going to be 40 years old making $30 million a year? You got to sacrifice at the end of your career if you expect to have a solid team around you. And in Chris Paul's case, to win his first ring, he should have sacrificed some of that money.
We wouldn't have known it.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah, but then the deal is this. The Phoenix Suns do not want to go into luxury tax. Therefore, they do not want to pay DeAndre Ayton because they overpaid Chris Paul. That's just probably
That's it.
is that the narrative? Is that what I'm understanding?
That's what it is. That's what happened. Mm-hmm.
Pay that man.
Chauncey Billups made some comments recently about Damian Lillard and the Portland Trailblazers. You want to get into that?
You know what? Let me just read the comment he made on Damian Lillard. Let me go. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Chauncey Billups said, I came here to coach you, but it's your career and it's your life and it's your family. I've been there before, and I'm not going to be the guy preaching, stay here, go there, do this. No, I got a job to do. I want to do it with you, obviously. But if at some point you deem, hey, another place is another place for me, that's not going to be an indictment on myself. That's going to be you making a decision for you and your family. End quote.
All right. So what you get from that, though?
I get that Chauncey Billups is saying, I'm here to coach the Portland Trailblazers. Mm-hmm. I'm not here to coach just Dame Lillard. Ooh. I'm not mad at Dame for staying or going. I have been a player. Chauncey Billups was like, I've been there, done that. I had to make these tough decisions. I know what it's like. So I believe he respects whatever decision Dame makes to stay or to leave. But at the end of the day, my job, Chauncey Billups, is to coach the roster of the Portland Trailblazers, whether you're on it or not. That's kind of what I got from it.
Oh, yeah, I did too. And I agree with his sentiments. Yeah. However, Chauncey better know there are no Portland Trailblazers without Damian Lillard. That is his town.
Yeah, but when will it move? If Damian Lillard decides, what I got from is that if Damian Lillard stays, obviously I'm cool with it. Why wouldn't I be cool with that? Of course it's his town. Of course this is his team. And I would love to be here with him. But if he make a decision based on what his needs are, what his family decides that they want to do, and he happens to leave, that don't mean I'm leaving too. Right. So that means that now the Trailblazers are going to be shifting their focus to other players. Every team goes through this. This is not the Portland Trailblazers is not the first team that's lost one of their best players because they wanted to go chase a ring. It's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. So Chauncey Billups is saying, really, for me, what I'm getting at, he's saying to the Portland Trailblazers community, I'm here to do a job and coach the Trailblazers team. However, if Dame makes another decision and he doesn't want to be here anymore, Godspeed. Like, what? Yeah. Why? And why would that be an indictment on me? He's been here longer than I have. Do you expect me, Chauncey Billups, to come up in here and do a 360? If it happens, great for his career.
Oh, I know.
Oh, but if it doesn't happen, I am not mad. I know what I think he's another thing that I got from it is that he's saying I'm not going to be the reason why he leaves.
Yeah.
Front office.
Right.
President of basketball operations. It won't be me. Y'all better get together and give me some other players. That's pretty much what I think is coming up.
Yeah. Well, I think it's pretty clear that Dame wants to stay. I mean, there was a lot of, issues when they selected Chauncey Billups to be the head coach. I don't know if you remember all that drama, Dame was in the media and all that. But I think it'll be really, if Dame can stick around through the Terry Stotts era, I don't know why he can't stay for Chauncey Billups to see what he can do.
If he enough said. Like, how many, what is it, 8 seasons? Let's talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't want to give, again, I have no problem. I don't think it was Chauncey Billups' statement was any slight to Dame Lillard. As a matter of fact, I believe it was actually in support of whatever decision he makes. Because as a former player, he understands that those decisions are not easy. And he understands that when you make decisions on what you want your career to look like, sometimes they're tough. And he understands that. And I think he also respects that. But as the coach, I'm going to coach whoever's on this roster.
And that's just about it.
And that's just what it is.
Yeah. But, the only way the Portland fan base, I think, will be, satisfied if Dame leaves is they got to bring in another superstar. They got to bring over Ben Simmons. They got to bring over somebody that's going to put some butts in seats. Now, I like CJ McCollum.
Yep.
I like Nurkic, but they're not filling the arena.
Oh, no. Not at all. Not at all. I agree. And I think that the fans would adjust. All fans adjust. If you're a fan of the team, you adjust. If you're a fan of a player, you'll move. There's two types of fans. Fan of the player, fan of the team, right? And in some cases, I'm a fan of the player. So if the player moving, I'm moving too. My allegiance to that team moves as well, right? If I'm a fan of the team, then whoever's on the team, I'm going to rock the team. So that's just what it boils down to. So you're going to have a mixed group of Trailblazers fans currently because it depends on who they're true fans of. That's all.
Mm-hmm. And most of them are probably fans of Damian Lillard.
And that's fine. And so whatever superstar, because they need to bring in a superstar, I agree with you. Whatever superstar they bring in, those fans will be coming to the Portland Trailblazers. It's just what it is. It's just what it is. And the Trailblazers have to be ready for a couple of years in shifting. That's it. If Dame decides to leave, it's going to happen. You tell me what team hasn't gone through it. Houston's going through it right now. Let's speak about that. They're going through it right now, and it's hard, right? Houston's going through it. OKC. Hopefully Shai Gilgeous-Alexander can bring them back up, but they're going through it right now too.
Yeah, they're rebuilding.
Yes.
But I think it's easier to rebuild when your roster is young. CJ McCollum, I mean, he's still fairly young. I think he's in his prime right now, but he's not 23 years old.
He's not.
It's more acceptable as an organization when you have like OKC. Everybody's super young. These guys, I don't think anybody's even 25 years old right now.
That is true. Yes.
It's just like, no.
All right, y'all. That's all we got for you. And until next time, goodbye.
Peace, y'all.